Hey guys, it's Di, and I have a very exciting video for you guys today. This is actually a video that's been requested by a number of people in the past few weeks, but what you guys didn't know is there was actually a collaboration in the works between a number of YouTube contributors, and we're all going to be posting this video on our own channel today, so I will link everyone that's doing this collab video today down below. But we're going to be sharing our learning favorites with you guys, and I thought that this would be a really fun collab for a number of us to do, to share our learning favorites, to show you guys basically the essentials of what we think is important to start a learning project at home, and also our favorite things to use. So actually, I could almost call this like the learning essentials in our house, like the things that I think are the bare minimum to start preschool at home and our favorite things that we use. And these are the things that I would suggest if you're thinking about starting preschool at home, that I would highly recommend starting with at your home too. And I think you guys are going to be maybe fairly surprised at how simplistic my basics or favorites are, because a lot of the things are just simple things that you can pick up at Target. So first of all, the channels that are doing this collab video with myself are Southern Ridge Style, Happily a Housewife, SixofOne HalfaDozenoftheOther, RaisingBushs, and also Victoria's Heart. So I will link all these channels down below, but they're also going to be sharing their learning favorites with you guys. And we have a number of fun learning collabs coming up that I'm excited to show you guys. First of all, let me share my favorites with you guys. Right off the top, this is something I'll just insert a picture over to the side. And my probably all-time favorite piece of learning equipment that we have in our house are the calendar board. I think it's really critical for your learning area to have that visual representation somewhere in your house. For us, it works perfect for it to be in the playroom, it could be in your child's room, and back corner of your living room, wherever it works in your house, to have that visual representation of the learning wall. And it can have the things that you feel are appropriate to change out, or you can just have static things like the calendar and the day, a letter on it, and that sort of thing. So I think that the calendar wall for us was first and foremost the key aspect to starting preschool at home for us. So what I did is I actually got 2 bulletin boards, and I got those at Staples. They're just basic bulletin boards, and I put those on the wall. I use one for our calendar and date and weather, and then I also have one that it changes out a little bit more rapidly with letters and things like that. Which brings me to my second favorite. Now, I picked up these letters at a teacher supply store, and you could get something similar to this. These are actually bulletin board decor that are supposed to go across the top of a bulletin board. I actually use these to showcase our letter of the week, and these have worked great. So I definitely say, if you have a teacher supply store near you, check out your local teacher supply store. And if you don't have any place like that near you, then I would say look at places like Office Max, Staples. They usually have a learning section at those types of places. And then you can also check out places like Amazon online and find some great bulletin board items on there just by searching bulletin board, alphabet, and that sort of thing. So these are one of my all-time favorite purchases because we use them every single day. So I really love those. And I keep those down inside my learning workbook. So this would be my third favorite that we use for preschool at home. Now this is really more for my own use rather than the kids' use. This is from the Martha Stewart line at Staples, and this is just a little 6-ring binder that you guys can see has some pockets in the front, and then it just has some different sections. I keep notes in the front with different theme ideas and that sort of thing. But it's divided up. There's a calendar in the front, and I actually just got my new insert because this one went through January. So I got my new insert for 2014 right here. It has the month, and then I like how it has the week on the next pages. And these work out really great because they're sectioned off morning, afternoon, and evening. So you can really divide up your activities. Like a lot of time preschoolers will have things in the mornings. You might have older kids that have events in the afternoon. You can really divide your day up by those 3 portions. And then I love these lines here at the bottom because you can use these for a lot of different things. Meal planning, if you want, there's one for every single day. Or you could also use it for different activity planning things if you know you want to do a certain activity on a certain day. So I really love this organization on these calendars, and this has worked out really, really great for me. Then I just purchased some extra pockets here in the back, and this is where I keep actually the letters that we use every single week. I keep all of our old themes are here in the back. So all of the themes that you guys have seen up on our board are here in the back. And then also I keep things like numbers I've had on the board and all of the words that we've had up on the board as well. So this little binder has worked out great. I really highly recommend it. It's from the Martha Stewart line at Staples, and I believe they have free shipping right now if you order online, and a lot of the calendar things are on sale as well. So when I ordered my inserts, it was like $11 for the inserts, and I believe the binder is around $19 or so. So this has been a great purchase for preschool at home. So then my next two favorites are very simple favorites, and these are favorites that you could get about anywhere: Target, Walmart, Babies R Us, any sort of crafting store. And my next two favorites that we use definitely at least weekly, if not daily, are just a big thing of construction paper. We use construction paper for tons of our crafts. And I honestly go to Pinterest and look through and find different craft ideas, and that's where I get a lot of like the either letter ideas or just different crafting for themes and that sort of thing. But pretty much 99% of the crafts that we do involve some sort of construction paper. So we use a lot of construction paper at our house. This is a really inexpensive learning tool and crafting tool that kids really enjoy. It's brightly colored, and if they're at a cutting stage, it's good cutting practice. So definitely construction paper is something I would say to have on hand if you're starting preschool at home, and it's one of our favorites because we use it so much. Another thing that we really love are these Crayola little triangle crowns. Now these are really great for kids that are just learning how to write. The age on them is 24 plus. I started both the girls with these around 2 years old. You can see they're a little triangle, and so that actually helps the kids hold the crown in the right position, and they also come in a lot of great colors. So we have gone through so many packages of these. I absolutely love these, and I would highly recommend them. This is definitely a favorite and something that we always have on hand for our preschool home activities. The next favorite I have to show you guys is actually sentence paper. Now I actually showed this to you in our preschool at home binder where you guys saw the words that we have written out. This is what I actually use to write the words and put them up on the bulletin board. And Isabella also uses these sheets of paper for writing practice. I actually got these as a gift from my mom. She got like 5 or 6 packages of these, which have lasted us the entire time we've been doing preschool at home, which is like over a year now. So they last a really long time, but we love these. We use these, again, almost daily, and they have been a really integral part of our preschool home experience. Now she got these actually somewhere like a dollar store, like a Dollar General if you're in the South. She lives more in the South, and Dollar General's down there. They have awesome learning supplies that is around $1, so I would definitely check one of those places out. But this sentence paper has been really, really great. So if you're looking for these, I would either check on Amazon or look at your local teacher supply store, and they should have something like this. Another favorite learning tool that's along the lines of writing is this Wipe Clean Early Learning Activity Book, and the brand of this one is Pretty Books, P-R-I-D-D-Y. And I have gotten asked about this book a lot. This is the one that I've shown Isabella practicing her alphabet in, and especially when she is on this page, I get so many questions about who makes that book, where can I find it? So here's the manufacturer right down here, but we have loved this book, and I believe we just found it at like a local office supply store or maybe even Target. I cannot honestly remember where it came from, I'm sorry, but it is so great. There's so many different writing activities in here. There are different words that they can write over. There's different animals. It practices drawing figures. There's numbers. Then of course the alphabet pages are a huge, huge hit. And then there's also a section for time, which is great as she gets older. So there's so many different activities in here, and it's all wipe erase. So as she uses it, I can go back through and just take a baby wipe or a wet cloth and wipe things off. It's a really great book. It's bright, it's fun, and Bella loves it. So this has been great for her to practice her writing at home. Also workbook related. Now there's a lot of free printables online, which I'm going to talk about next. But one thing that I do like to do is have some workbooks on hand. We actually have a bin full of them, and I like to just make a copy of them on our copy machine so that way we can use the workbook again. I found that that's worked really great, especially with 2 children, so that way they're not drawing directly into the book. They can do the activities, and then the other child can do the activity as well. So our workbooks have held up really, really well by doing this, and every single book, you can tell, has no writing in it because I do that. I make a copy and then we can reuse it over and over again. So my 2 absolute favorite workbooks that we've ever found are from the dollar section at Target. Now they have some variation of these every single year in September around back to school time. And this one is the Panda begins with P and Cat begins with C. And this one is my pretty much #1 favorite because it has each letter and an individual writing and learning page for every single letter. So we use this with every single letter the first time we went through the alphabet, and we're using it a lot going through this time as well. And you can see it's got bright fun pictures. It's got a little activity that's easy enough for a 2.5 to 3-year-old to do, and this one has definitely been a huge hit at our house. So this one is one favorite from the Target dollar section. This other one, Cat Begins with C, starts to get into a little bit more of the phonics, and this one's a little bit more at Bella's level at 3.5, with filling in the letter that's missing and also finding rhyming things, writing in the word underneath. So this is kind of like the next step after the Panda book. So these are two fabulous books. If you can find these in the dollar section at Target at back to school time, I would say grab them. We love them. They also had these Crayola books in the dollar section at Target, and these are wonderful. This one in particular happens to be on shapes, and we have loved all of these. They're just really basic to the point. They're something that we've used a lot. So even though we have workbooks from teacher supply stores and that were a lot more expensive, these are my absolute favorite workbooks that we have, and I spent $3 on 3 workbooks. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to get something that's quality or exactly what you're looking for, basically. So these are definitely my favorite. And along those lines, I wanted to mention free printables because we use free printables a lot, and I try to link those when I find good ones that I like too. So here's one, B is for ballet. Printed this off for 1 week when we were doing B. I just had these printed off for when we were doing Q week, and it's writing practice. These are from Crayola.com. There's a ton of free printable coloring sheets on there and writing sheets on there. So if you're looking for writing sheets and you don't want to go buy a workbook, or if it's not back to school time and none of the dollar sections have them, just search Google for free printable preschool worksheet, or go to someplace like Crayola.com that you know has them, and there's infinite themes out there. I mean, it's really honestly infinite. Once you get into searching for them, you can find pretty much about any theme that you want. I actually just started looking the other day because we did Jake and the Neverland Pirates that the girls really liked, and I started searching for Sophia the First, and so I found a free printable pack for Sophia the First. We're going to be using that probably next week because it's S week. So we're going to be doing the Sophia printable worksheets on S week. Anyhow, I'm very excited about printable worksheets, and it's something that's free and doesn't cost me any money other than the ink in my printer. Alright, the next favorite I have is also a kind of DIY thing, and these are the busy bags. Now I have a number of videos about these, and I'll try to link some down below, but if you don't know what a busy bag is, it's basically an activity that you make at home, or like what we've done with my mommy friends is we've actually gone to groups and exchanged a busy bag with everyone, so you come home with like 8 different activities. But they are great little activities that focus on just fun learning concepts. Like this one is a match the color. This one especially was one of the girls' favorites. They absolutely love this one with the popsicle sticks, so I would highly recommend this one. Another favorite is this writing one. Someone made this, and it's a dry erase. It's just different writing practice. Again, very simple and easy. They just laminated the page, and it has front and back different things on there, and you can see there's just a lot of different activities. This one has been a huge hit. And then some of my favorites to make, the girls really like these, but I admit I'm biased because I'm the one that makes these and I enjoy it, are these felt activities. Now these busy bags have different themes, and they're supposed to do different activities. Like this one, they make the dinner plate, and you can make it into a counting activity, a color activity. This one was about feelings, and it has happy faces, and you can put the different feelings underneath them. So these are some of my favorite busy bags and the ones that have gotten used the most around our house. The next thing I wanted to just touch on was flashcards, and again this is kind of general, and you can DIY it or you can go buy things in the dollar section. They don't have to cost a lot of money, but some of our favorite flashcards are these ABC ones. We actually got these as a gift, but they are ABC and they are Disney, so it has the letter on one side and then it has a Disney character on the other, and the girls have absolutely loved these. So I think they came from Walmart or somewhere like that, and the girls have absolutely loved those. Also, one of Natalie's favorites are these Thomas the Train ones, and these are numbers cards, and these are some of Natalie's absolute favorites. They actually have numbers on them, either the number or the written out number, and these are the cards we've actually been using on our bulletin board for the number the past few weeks as well, but Natalie absolutely loves those. And this is something that we received at a Busy Bag exchange, and it has a little ring around it, and then the flashcards all stay together. This one was a really great one just because it has different colors, and it has the writing on the back, and it has shapes on it. So my point with flashcards, and you can find these pretty much about anywhere. Target usually has them, Walmart, toy stores, teacher supply stores. With flashcards, we don't really make a point of sitting down and like drilling the kids with them, but we love flashcards. I basically treat them like a toy, and it's like a learning toy then. So the kids have free access to these, and they can get them out and use them and flip through them as, you know, as they want to, and that has worked really well for us because they really enjoy flashcards. It's not work for them, it's not stressful at all, it's not like being quizzed, and so they can just get the flashcards out and look through them, and we love flashcards for that reason because it's just fun learning when they're using them. The next thing that I wanted to touch on was toys, and this is actually the only toy that I brought up, and this is kind of more of a babyish toy, but what I wanted to talk about with toys was basically our philosophy on toys. And if you watch kind of our older playroom videos, you can kind of watch the progression, and I've kind of eased up on this a little bit, but especially when the girls were babies, every single toy that we have in our household had some sort of learning aspect to it. And you wouldn't have noticed that unless I probably verbally told that to you, but every single toy either had some sort of shape aspect on it or counting aspect on it, and really for baby toys it's not that hard because a lot of them already have that on there anyways. But I made a point of when they were younger, we didn't have any toys that were just random toys. They were all learning toys in some aspects. So whether that was helpful or not, I don't know, but that's a favorite kind of concept that we do at our house, so I thought I would mention it. And when they were babies, probably about 99% of their toys were this Fisher-Price Laugh and Learn brand. So from the time they were probably about 6 months to probably almost a year and a half for Isabella, 99% of her toys were from this Fisher-Price Laugh and Learn. These are our absolute favorite toys. Now they're starting to really outgrow some of these, and obviously as they get older, they're more into the pretend play, and they're going to be starting to get things like Barbies and things like that, and that sort of play does serve its own purpose. So I understand that. I don't want to diminish that in any aspect. But when they were younger, and alphabet and numbers and shapes were all something very new, and colors, I tried to make a point of getting toys that made play have a little bit of learning aspect to it as well. So like with this one, when they would put the shape through, it would say different things, and it would actually either say the color or the number. So it'd say 5. So they're just hearing those learning words over and over. So that was kind of our philosophy on toys as they got younger, and we do try to keep a learning aspect or things that are age appropriate in the playroom. But when they were little, Fisher-Price Laugh and Learn toys were our absolute favorites. So one of my last categories of favorites, because I have a feeling this is going to be a long video, are books. And of course we have tons and tons of books, and we have lots and lots of favorites. But I'm going to tell you what some of our favorite authors and some of our favorite themes are. So what I mean by themes is I like getting books that are in groups. So I like getting winter books and fall books and holiday books. So things that are really talking about what's going on at that time, and I like having that like thematic book around to talk about the things that are going on around us. So like this one's about snowflakes. We can talk about the animals in winter. And just try to keep books like that on hand that work in with just kind of the general things going on in life that may not necessarily have anything to do with our weekly themes and that sort of thing. But I just like having books like that on hand. As far as our favorite authors go, I would have to say our top 3 favorite authors are, this is going to be no surprise, Dr. Seuss. We love Dr. Seuss books. His books are so fun. It's just, it lets your imagination run wild, and I love that aspect of it. We also really love Eric Carle books. I actually think I credit Eric Carle books a big portion for Isabella learning to read. We read a lot of books during the day, and when she was younger in that phase when she was getting ready to like burst on the scene reading, we read Eric Carle books every single day, and probably multiple times a day. The Very Hungry Caterpillar is one of our favorites, and you can see it's kind of falling apart. We also love the Brown Bear series and Baby Bear books. Those are also great. And one of our new favorite authors is Giles Andre. We've really liked him over the past year. We picked up a couple of great books at Target, Commotion in the Ocean and Rumble in the Jungle. This is another great one, Giraffes Can't Dance. And they're just brightly colored, fun books that have a little bit of a rhyme to them and are very, very fun. So those are three of our favorite authors. Now, a brand new favorite for an older age preschool child, for like a 3-year-old, is Fancy Nancy books by Jane O'Connor, and these are one of Isabella's favorites, and I really like these because I love the learning aspect of these books. So Isabella has these little square books that she keeps in her room, and these especially work great as bedtime books because they're fairly short, but these just have a little story in them. And then for the longer books, I really like that Fancy Nancy uses maybe words that you wouldn't hear every day. So like for this one is Too Many Tutus. So in this book, she reiterates herself by saying, you would get a point for every item. Item is a fancy word for a thing. And I really like how the books make a point of, saying such and such is a fancy word. And then at the end, it has a fancy word list for all of those words that may not be as apt to be heard in a 3-year-old's vocabulary, but it's really something that adds new words to the vocabulary, and I really, really like that. One of the ones on this one, Fancy Nancy's Museum, this one's got a lot of different words like spectacular and portrait. So I just think that these are really overall great books. They're great stories, and I love that it immerses your child into reading that has new words that they may not hear in other preschool books out there. And last but not least, my final kind of learning favorite, and this is again more of a concept I think than a specific item, but my last kind of favorite thing to do would be immersion, and that would be really just using the things that you're working on learning wise wherever you possibly can. So obviously the age that they're at, 2 and 3 years old, we are very focused on the alphabet and learning and reading and sounding out words and letter sounds. So I have the alphabet visible in our house a lot of different places. Each girl actually has a picture of the alphabet in her room. And each girl, around the time that they are about 2, Isabella used it in her room at 2 years old when she was in a toddler bed, and it's now moved to Natalie's room at 2 years old, had a comforter that had the alphabet and sheets that have the alphabet on it as well. So I really just try to get things that have the alphabet on them, and they're seeing it visually a lot. And we obviously talk about it a lot through the day, but I think as many items as you can work into your house that have those learning concepts on them, the better. That's my personal opinion, and it's worked great for us. So if I had the option between just like a regular puzzle and an ABC puzzle, I would probably get both, but I would definitely highly consider the ABC puzzle option, just because it's the puzzle and it's the learning aspect of them seeing the ABCs and that letter reinforcement as well. So those are all of my learning favorites, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And these are all the items that I really feel are just critical to our Preschool at Home program and have really helped the girls excel at everything that they have been learning and doing the Preschool at Home. These are the key things that I think have really helped us have fun with it, and also for it to be kind of a mainstay in our routine. So hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. Please let me know if you guys have any questions down below. Don't forget to check out all the other contributors that are doing this collaboration video as well. Check out their channels in the description bar down below. Southern Ridge Style, Happily a Housewife, 6ofOne HalfaDozenoftheOther, RaisingBushs, and Victoria's Heart. And I will make sure all their channel links are down below. Check out their learning favorites and also their channels. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm excited to share some upcoming learning videos with you guys, collaborations. Let us know if you have any requests, and I know we're going to have a couple learning projects and that sort of thing, so it should be a really fun collaboration for you guys. And I will see you very soon in another February vlogging video. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye!